Okay, let's see. All right, are we back on? Because this is not a good sign when your internet's already acting up. But, all right, I'm going to go back and go through real quick on this because if this thing will not stay on for long, then I'm just going to do what I'm just going to do the shorter, I guess, shorter kind of version of what we're going to be doing. All right, so once again, be at your house by 9 because the snow will start about 9 to 10. I always say give or take 30 minutes. And once again, the pink is sleet, and the hot pink, purplish is the freezing rain and ice. And then the green is just rain. So as you can tell, that line slowly moves up north. So that sleet will be probably hitting us, I want to say about 7 p.m. So it's going to be snowing from tomorrow about 10 a.m. all the way till about 6 p.m. So, and I'll go ahead and show you all the amounts in a few. So that is where we're probably going to get our most the amount of snow because, and that's going to be the fun type snowball snow. And then it's going to get ruined by ice and sleet. So once again, sleet's going to be coming in about 6 or 7 p.m. And then that freezing rain ice will come right up around 8 p.m. And then this is not the fun part, but it bounces back and forth between sleet and freezing rain. And it's that mixture that we talked about that starts just about tomorrow evening and goes all the way into early Sunday. So once again, this is 6 a.m. on Sunday, and you see that line of rain that's slowly inching. I don't think it'll make it to Sumner, but we'll see what the latest models that come out later tonight say. Hopefully, it will because that helps lower the chance of ice. So I'm going to play this a little bit. I'm going to see if it'll go a little bit slower so y'all can get the gist while I kind of explain to you all what the difference is between snow, sleet, freezing rain, ice, and what's the difference and why it's so difficult on forecasting this. So snow, sleet, freezing rain can all come from the same system, same storm, same clouds, everything. This is what we're seeing right here. But the difference, and it, and really the difference is between 1 or 2 degrees in the atmosphere. That's just it, 1 or 2 degrees. So it's about the difference between a comfortable hoodie and why is this so miserable. So let's start with the snow, which is that blue that you see on this radar. That's the easy one. The atmosphere is cold from the cloud all the way down to the ground. Snowflake form. They fall, they don't melt, and what you see is what you get. Clean, simple. Snow is the well behaved child of winter weather. Now you throw in sleet, which you see is that kind of peachy pink color. Sleet is where things get really annoying. Snow falls from the cloud, runs into a thin, warm layer just above freezing, just warm enough to melt slightly. And then it drops back down into cold air and refreezes before hitting the ground. That's why sleet bounces when it lands. So it's basically snow that changes its mind halfway down. And that's why it hurts when it hits you in the face. And then you get this hot pink purplish color, and that's the freezing rain. This is the villain of the story. Snow melts completely in a warm layer aloft, and then turns into rain. And then it falls into sub freezing air at the surface. And it doesn't refreeze in the air, so it freezes on contact roads, trees, and power lines. And everything gets coated in ice. So that's when you hear transformers popping and everyone suddenly remembering their flashlights. So when we've talked about power outages, the part where we're going to be worrying about that is when that freezing rain comes up into Sumner County. So this is the part that really makes forecasters and meteorologists lose sleep. That warm layer that I mentioned, it can be only a couple thousand feet thick. So if it's 32 degrees, you get snow. 33 to 34, you might get sleet. If it's 35 to 37 degrees, you're looking at freezing rain. That's a 1 to 2 different degree difference. And that layer can shift north or south 20 miles, or it can change over a couple hours. So that's why one town is building a snowman while the next town over is ice skating into their driveway and falling. And you see all those ring videos of people falling on their butts. Yeah, whether they plan to or not. So when you see forecasts change like you have this whole week, it's not because the meteorologists are guessing or flipping a coin, though it might seem like they are, but they are really trying to nail down the razor thin temperature line in the atmosphere that you can't see, can't feel, and definitely cannot control. So that's why winter weather is so difficult. It isn't about the hype, it's about the patience, the updates, and understanding that Mother Nature doesn't read model runs. She does what she wants. And sometimes it's within that 2-degree altitude problem. So that's why meteorologists watch trends, not just maps. That's why we update, and that's why winter weather keeps meteorologists humble and coffee companies in business. So, now that you've seen this radar loop several times and probably tired of seeing it, let's go into one of my favorite websites. You're probably thinking, all right, Mackenzie, what is the snowfall amount? What are we going to get? How much ice are we going to get? So this is the National Weather Service preset portal. And once again, it is experimental. So it's not going to be exactly what you get. So right now, see, from yesterday, we were looking at mainly in the 4 inches range. It really has not changed much. So you're looking right above Portland, almost 5 inches of snow, and down here in Hendersonville, right at 4 maybe. So all in between. So my range really is 4 to 5. And most of this will be falling probably from that time I showed y'all when that snowfall was coming in about 9 to 10 a.m. all the way to 6 p.m. Most of that will be what you'll see here. Of course, Sunday, all that wintry mix from Saturday night all the way into early Sunday. Sunday afternoon will probably be another little bit of the tail end of snow. So what layers you're really going to get is that snow, and then that wintry mix, and then snow again. So this is the expected amount. I know I did high end, low end, worst case scenario, best case scenario, which most of y'all think, hey, I think the worst case scenario is really the best case scenario because it shows about 6 inches for Portland and Westmoreland. And I don't know about you, I would rather have the 6 inches to 12 inches snow than any ice. So once again, this right here is the high end, and that is 1 in 10 chance of happening. And I'm going to show you the low end. The low end is barely at 1 or 2. But my range really, I want to say 3 to 6 is what I'm really going to stick with my gut and say 4 or 5. Now, probably the thing you're mostly wondering about. Oop. All right. Here we go. What are you waiting for? All right, here is the ice. let's see. You know that 4 to 5 right here? Is the map showing now? Want to make sure because y'all are saying it's not. Is it showing? Do y'all see all the map? My little mouse going perfect. Good. I don't know why it wasn't. Sorry, I'm so got too many screens. So I have one screen showing y'all's chat and then one showing the screen. So you see blue. Perfect. Yes, you want. Well, you really don't want to see blue. You want to see more than that. But I'm gonna backtrack for y'all. But the blue is 4 inches. That's what I was talking about for snowfall. Was in the 4 range, which really hasn't changed from yesterday. But I know y'all want to see snow. Y'all just want snow. Well, let's go to the villain of the story. I know ice, and this is looking at the expected amount. So we are looking at probably a third to a fourth inch of ice. Almost said snow, but ice. This is. I'm going to zoom out so y'all can see where the worst of the ice is going to be compared to where it is going to be for us. See down here in Mississippi where they're going to probably get an inch of ice. Yeah, that's definitely not good. But right now we're looking not all the way to half an inch of ice. We might. That is where the National Weather Service is. They're not completely certain. And you know how I talked about where the models can tell you, hey, this, but this is where meteorologists have a hard time with that 2 degrees difference. Because models can say, hey, it's going to do this and this and this, but Mother Nature might laugh at them and say, hey, but I'm going to do this instead. So this is why, once again, the forecasting is difficult, and you got all these computers, meteorologists doing all this data. And that's why from, gosh, I think it was Sunday where it was saying 20 inches of snow. Yeah, and now it's here. So, and it's only going to get 4 inches. That's why it's changed so much. I'm going to do the high end. Good grief. The high end is really showing almost an inch of ice. But once again, that is worst case scenario. I'm not seeing it do that. You might have the question saying, hey, okay, Mackenzie, what impacts can freezing rain cause? I'll show you this from our friends over in East Tennessee. They have this graphic that I think really shows what impacts ice can have, or freezing rain. So what we are expecting is kind of really right in the middle of these two right here. So plain and simple, there's going to be impacts on the road like crazy. And I'd rather y'all do not travel. Be locked in your homes. Go play board games, Monopoly, Clue, all that. Well, I know you probably will have some electricity. That's another thing is with power outages. I know a couple people have asked me, hey, what percentage do you think and how long do you think power outages will be? I don't think we're going to go more than a day without power outages. But we all know Sumner County electricity likes to go out just randomly on a summer day. So that's why I actually dropped my discernometer down from a 5 out of 10 to a 4 out of 10. I'm just keeping it high up because of power outages. Not saying we're going to go a day and a half without it, like some people might in Mississippi. I do think we might go a couple days or not couple days, sorry. That probably freaked y'all out. Couple hours. But I'm going to go and I have several things up here as well. I kind of want to show y'all. You know how I was talking about the difference in 2 degrees and see how rain is all warm air and then freezing rain. I know I'm probably bouncing all over the place, but I want to drive it into y'all and let y'all know the knowledge of the difference between this. And you might not care, but this is why it's so difficult to forecast this stuff. Also, I kind of want to show y'all when during this event, T-Spotters, we rely on y'all's reports. And I'm going to show y'all a little bit on how to measure ice and how to measure snow. Because during this event, I want y'all's pictures. I want pictures of your dog playing in the snow. I want your pictures of measuring ice and snow. But please make sure it's safe first. But I definitely want to see y'all having fun out there. But all these reports that y'all send of measuring of the ice and of the snow, I will send over to the National Weather Service, and they will use that data and know exactly, because the radar can say, hey, it's snowing in Hendersonville, but I can go outside and look around and be like, no, it's not snowing. So this is where we, as I said before, it's a teamwork. So how do you measure ice? I'm going to zoom in real quick and see if y'all can see this. Use my little touch screen here. So this is how you measure ice. You see how that branch, I wish I had I know I have a little mouse, but I wish I had a little pointer thing more. So you see how this branch is like kind of about an inch wide. You will not measure that. You'll measure from this side to where the branch starts. And then you'll measure, see where it's like this little bit right here. And then you'll measure where it's like 14 all the way to where it ends. So you'll add that together and then you'll divide it by 2. Or you can just send us the picture and we'll do the math for you. So that is how you measure ice. You don't completely do, oh, that's 2 inches. No, because the ice is not in the branch. So I hope that makes sense on that. So now we're going to how do you measure the snow? Best way to measure the snow is being far away from trees in your house and putting your ruler or measuring tape on a hard surface like a table or a driveway. You don't want to be around your house, like near the roof and all that, or trees, because when the snow that's caught on that drops, that's not really an accurate measurement for us. Of course, I'll put all this on during the event because we really want reports. Mainly probably Sunday is when we really want like the total of snow, the total ice. But we do want reports of, oh hey, this is what it looks like so far tomorrow night. So once again, I know I shared these pages and graphics from the National Weather Service. So once again, high confidence. I'm just going to do a little summary real quick. And if y'all have any questions, I know this live stream cut out at the very beginning. So if I have not answered any questions you need, feel free to drop them in and I'll go back through. But I'm going to do a quick summary before y'all get tired of hearing me talk. But once again, this is the ice, most likely ice forecast, and you saw that we are probably going to be close to a half an inch of ice. And you see that little circle area, that's where the National Weather Service has the greatest uncertainty in the ice totals. And I know I said in the beginning, the very first live video earlier, is that we do have that winter storm warning, and we don't have an ice storm warning, but there is an ice storm warning below us, all the way down in like Waynesboro area. I did ask the National Weather Service if they were thinking about extending it into Nashville and Sumner County. They do not have the confidence right now to go ahead and do that. And as you saw in the radar, and I'll do the radar loop before I head out, is that is where you saw that's what I've been talking about, that 1 to 2 degree difference. And that rain line was actually coming up too. And that will probably help out with not getting as much ice. So we really want to be praying for more snow or that rain to really kick it into gear and get more rain. Because ice is not the fun one. As I said, ice is the villain of the story. So once again, you can read the chances, but I did show y'all, and I'm going to put that website on all the social media posts that y'all can go under and look at. Hey, high end amount, low end amount, exact total. Once again, I'm going to go through the timeline real quick. So about 9 to 10 is going to be when that light snow comes in. And then tomorrow afternoon is when it's going to go straight into that wintry mix. As you saw, that pink and peachy color and purple color come inch their way toward us. That's going to be tomorrow afternoon. I keep wanting to say in a couple of days, but the event's almost here. So it's all that preparation ready for it to start, and it's finally about to start. I'm ready for it to be done. But Saturday night and Saturday morning is when that wintry mix is going to be mainly staying into our south in the eastern areas. And then that Sunday afternoon is when we're going to get snow again. And I was showing y'all the 18Z, her model. The 000Z model will be coming out shortly, and I'll do like a little GIF or little video of that update, because that's the one I'm really interested to see, because that will cover the whole event. And I will show you all the snow coming in on Sunday as well. So Sunday evening is when the snow tapers off and the bitter cold air moves in. That is what I also want to talk to y'all about. Is you might be wondering, all right, Mackenzie, when is this going to melt? Let's just go down here. This is what I share weekly when I do that weekly post on Sundays. It's first as like a weekly summary. And of course, right now I have it for Hendersonville, but y'all can all get on this website. I'll put this website on there too, and put in your town if you're in Gallatin or Portland, Westmoreland, etc., Cottontown. You can put that in. But it does like a weekly summary, and then you go down here and it goes by hour. So it pretty much has everything you want on here. And you're probably looking at these purple. Yeah. I'm not really excited about that, because when I've had people ask, when do you think this is going to melt? Honestly, as you can see, this top row right here, that's the high temperatures. It's not going to be above freezing. I mean, it drops back down on Thursday. And yes, there might be another winter storm coming next weekend, but let's get through this one first. So that's where I'm like really worried about those that are going to be without power for days, which I'm not saying that will happen in Sumner County, but especially to our south in Mississippi, that's where I'm really worried about them being out for days and with this cold temperature. Because yes, you do see 1, -3. Yeah, Tuesday. Let's go hour by hour real quick on that coldness. I'm going to go all the way down to Monday real quick. So Monday at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., the temperature is going to be 11 to 10, but it's going to feel like -1. Yeah. And then we're going to swap all the way over here to Monday at 7, all the way to midnight on Tuesday. Oh, and you see this right here? 4 a.m. on Tuesday morning. The low temperature is -3. And it's going to feel like -13 or -14. That's why I might be going too fast real quick, but I'm not really seeing. Oh, jeez. I'm looking at Friday right here. It's not even going to get above freezing on Friday. But I do believe it will be safe to travel. I want to say Tuesday, especially highways, Monday or Tuesday for like interstates and highways. Back roads, it will probably be a good while before those can really really melt the ice and all. But I believe I've gone through everything. There's not much change. We're going to be getting both snow first, then ice mixed with sleet, and then snow again. And once again, the totals are probably going to be around 4 to 5 inches of snow and probably up to a half an inch of ice for the whole event. And I'll put there probably will be another update in the next hour or so. So I'll do a more evening update, and then I didn't go to bed till 3 a.m. this morning, so I probably will wait and do another late night update, probably about midnight or so, because I'm going to be up a while. I have my coffee, chocolate, caffeine, ready to rock. Now, if we can get the internet and electricity to go well, we'll be walking and we'll get through this. So, all right. If there's not any other questions, I'm going to go through real quick and make sure. I hope I have helped ease y'all's anxiety. I don't think it's going to be as bad as it's going to be in Mississippi, Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma. So prayers out for those people. And we'll get through this like we always do. And before you know it, it's going to be spring. And then, of course, another severe weather season comes in. And then it'll be summer. This year will fly by like last year flew by. I'm checking real quick to see if there's any other. I hope I explained things pretty well for you all. Ooh, going down to Orlando. Take me with you because it's going to be nice down. Well, I was going to say it's going to be nice down there, but no, it's going to be chilly down there too with that big Arctic blast coming in. I, th- I think you. Let's see. I'm thinking you should be fine. I think what's really going to because I have a cousin that lives in Georgia, and I've been talking back and forth with her with the ice. They are getting more ice in Georgia because I'm assuming you'll be going through Georgia to go that way. So I do think it will be it'll be rough the first couple hours until you get to Atlanta, and then I think you should be good on that. But I'll be worried about going up Mount Eagle. That's and around Chattanooga with all that traffic and everything. And of course, Atlanta traffic, but I don't think you'll have any of the ice. But I hope that answered your question, but I think I got everything. If not, this video will be online and y'all can go back. And if I didn't answer any of the questions that y'all wanted, feel free to message me, comment any of the posts. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to serve y'all. I'm here to help y'all go through all this severe weather. I know it's Sumner Severe WX, but really it's Sumner weather. No matter if it's sunny, storming, snowing, earthquake. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna jinx us on that. I'm digging myself more a hole, aren't I? So I'm gonna leave before I completely bury myself and jinx us on stuff. But all right, thank you. I see a lot of thank yous. No, thank you all for tuning in. Once again, I'm here to serve y'all, help y'all get through this, translate what the National Weather Service is saying to y'all so y'all can go through this snowstorm with ease, confidence, and being prepared and not being scared. So, sorry I had to throw that little quote in there. But, all right, hope y'all have a good rest of y'all's night. Be on the lookout. You probably will see a ton of posts from me probably all the way until Monday. So I hope you don't get tired of seeing Sumner Severe WX posts all over your Facebook, Twitter, and everything. So have a good rest of y'all's night. Stay safe, stay warm.